Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Slice of Gaming podcast for October 26th, 2024. I am your host, the Uncharted Wolf, and I am joined by a very esteemed special panel. We have Dark.
Hey, how's it going?
We got Moon.
I got rice patties.
He's got rice patties. And, of course, a very special guest, Jackie G. What's up, Jack?
Hello.
Jack, how are you feeling about this weekend? Got any plans?
No, not particularly. The clocks go back in England, so I'll be working an extra hour tomorrow night.
Oh, jeez. Oh, you guys got daylight savings for yours over there?
Yeah, I think it's just different times, though.
Oh, interesting. I think, Moon, I feel like you would know more about this. Didn't they say they were going to get rid of daylight savings in the US and then just never did?
It's been on the ballot for like decades, and it never comes to fruition, even though some states have like voted yes on it. Like I know California approved yes, but the problem is even though we say yes, we need like majority of the states to all say yes, and they haven't. But once they do, we'll get rid of it.
I don't know why you wouldn't say yes. It's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know what lobby is lobbying for it.
the God is lobbying. Anyways, enough about daylight savings times. We got a small news week, but like some interesting topics I really want to get into. Stuff in regards to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 releasing this week. Really more sad Ubisoft news. Fallout Day broadcast, which I want to yap and whine about. But other than that, pretty slow news week. Just wanted to get the squad together because we think it's going to be a fun podcast either way. If you want to check us out, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can find your favorite podcasts. Like the podcast, any type of support helps, and follow us on Twitter at A Slice of Gaming. But let's just get right into the news, starting off with Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, a game that we all played, correct, and we all love, correct?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very rousing sense of excitement there from you guys. Either way,
I got that drop this year.
Good news because you're not getting a sequel.
Oh yeah, I
know. So GameSpot has this article. Most of Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown team, quote, shifted to other projects. Evan Campbell wrote it. It sounds as if the sands in the hourglass have run out for a sequel in the Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. Ubisoft has decided to move a majority of the team who worked on the Metroidvania title to other projects at the company. Senior producer Abdelhak El Gues issued a statement to GameSpot confirming that the game's team is no longer together. Quote, most of the team members who worked on Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown have shifted to other products that will benefit from their expertise, El Gues said. We know other players have a love for this brand, and Ubisoft is excited to bring more Prince of Persia experiences in the future. And then we also got, on top of that, Rayman remake development bolstered by a former Prince of Persia team. Insider Gaming got the scoop with Grant Taylor-Hill reading the article. It was just yesterday that the news broke out regarding the former team working on the Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. It was claimed the team had been disbanded and that a sequel pitch for the game had been shot down by Ubisoft, who had reportedly made it clear just weeks after the game was released that these steps would be in the cards. Now, Insider Gaming is exclusively reporting that the Prince of Persia team members have migrated to other projects, one of which is working on a Rayman remake, but not all is sunshine and rainbows. Per our sources close to the situation, the unannounced Rayman remake is under development with the codename Project Steambot, and it's being pieced together by a team located primarily at Ubisoft Milan. This studio has contributed to the creation of more than 24 Ubisoft games over a 20-year window. And then other sources have also confirmed that Michel Ancel, the creator of Rayman, is in place as a consultant. This has raised some concerns among team members, least of all because Ancel found himself embroiled in a toxic leadership debacle pioneered by a French news outlet in 2020. So a lot of information to go off of there. First and foremost, how are we feeling about the fact that we're not getting a Lost Crown sequel? Were you guys kind of expecting a Lost Crown sequel? It seems like Metroidvanias usually don't tend to sell well, so I wasn't personally. It just seems like a pretty rough situation, though.
Yeah, it was kind of like in a middle ground of, well, first off, it's had an interesting journey of, it was announced, we all kind of just went, this doesn't look that all exciting, and then it comes out and you're like, oh, this is actually like an early Game of the Year contender and stuff like that. And then and those reports came out that it wasn't selling as much as they wanted, so it was a lot of hills and valleys of, this is actually a really good game, and then it's like, oh, but it's not selling. It's like, come on guys, let's get to sell. And then now we're back in the valley of, the team's been disbanded. It's like, fuck.
No, 100%. I mean, it's a very talented team. Like that, this is the same team that worked on the Rayman Origins and Legends, which are both phenomenal 2D platformers. So to see them basically be said, "Hey, you're not working on Prince of Persia," even though they pitched the sequel, it just immediately got shut down. And I think really the big issue, this game was not on Steam at launch. Like this was very much a thing where it was only on whatever the fuck Ubisoft's launcher is called. Is it Uplay still, or did they change the name?
Uplay.
Okay, it's still called Uplay. Well, the one that nobody likes using. So for PC release, you have to play it on Uplay, and you cannot play it on Steam.
Ubisoft Connect.
That is a way worse name. Oh my god. But I mean, Ubisoft Connect. The fact that it's not even on Steam, which is the major platform for PC gamers, is just. I feel like it wasn't handled correctly.
That launcher, by the way, is worse than the Epic Games platform. Like, it is really bad. Fucking
Oh yeah, I mean,
really bad thing.
most launchers not named Steam are pretty bad on PC.
This is stupid.
I mean, Jack, what about you? You've been quiet. How are you feeling about this situation?
I love The Lost Crown. I'm really sad about this, but the fact it was even made in the first place felt like a miracle. I mean, Ubisoft Montpellier has basically just been on Beyond Good and Evil 2 for the last decade. So,
I forgot. I mean, that's the question. Is that game still happening?
I mean,
No.
someone's working on it. I don't know if it's happening.
It's like, I mean, because that was re-revealed in 2017, and they basically restarted development at that time. And now we're like, 7 years later, and we haven't even heard a peep about it other than just like little snippets of gameplay. I don't know what the hell the deal with that game is.
Metroid Prime strategy.
Well, here's the weird part, Derek, is that Skull of Bones, they just released that in an unfinished state because they're like, fuck it, we just need to get this out.
Wasn't they?
I don't know why they don't just do that with Beyond Good and Evil.
Government to release that.
Yeah, but Beyond Good and Evil 2, they're not legally obligated. They're just working on it all this time. It's like, just at this point, just release it.
Maybe
I don't think they could cook anything that was worth 7+ years of development time.
They should have cancelled that years ago. Like, what are they working on?
Like at this point, they're a little
out?
bit too far ahead for them to just cancel it outright.
Yeah, exactly. It's basically a sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah,
especially because Michel Ancel was the creative director for that game, and he left a while back too. This is just a really shitty situation all around. I mean, I've been tempted to do a Ubisoft-centered episode like of the podcast, talking about what's going on with them. But I don't know. In general, like it seems like Ubisoft is just not. They're one bad Assassin's Creed launch away from basically completely dissolving, or not dissolving, but like
get embraced,
getting gutted.
Don't they have a fuck ton of like people too?
Yeah, 20K.
Yeah.
They have more employees than PlayStation, which is just like, I don't know how that's even possible. they more, and here's the thing: they do not make nearly as much money as like an EA. And EA has way fewer employees, so it's just kind of goes to show they are spending way too much on these employees and way too much. Like, it tells me layoffs are pretty inevitable, which always sucks. This Rayman remake,
worried a little bit. Like if they, let's say they start cutting out people, right? The first thing that pops into my head is the credits list for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It was utterly ridiculous. The amount of people that worked on that fucking game. It didn't. So if you cut out these people, will you be able to make games like that still? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, you wouldn't get it out as fast. That's the thing. Because the big thing is that they just have support studios everywhere. That's how they make that they're able to avoid contract work and like external studios like that, because it's like, oh, we have our own studios. We cut down on the cost of like a contractor that like Microsoft uses a lot. I don't know. It's a weird situation. I will say this Rayman remake, it's good to hear Rayman's coming back. I don't know why it's a remake, because I mean, Rayman 1 isn't a long game, so I don't know what you're exactly remaking. I assume that's the Rayman game being remade, unless they want to remaster Rayman 2 for the 20th time. But this is not how I wanted Rayman to come back, at the expense of Prince of Persia. But also, hey, I'll take it. It's something. I just wish it's like, hey, maybe make a new Rayman game instead. I'm starting to get to the point of like, maybe we do have way too many remakes. That's something I think we were talking about the other day, Jack.
Rayman hasn't been on the spotlight in a game for a hot minute, besides the Mario DLC for that one game. I don't know if he's gonna do better in 3D nowadays compared to the side scroller from Origins and Legends. I don't know how you feel about it.
I mean, yeah, no, that's an interesting question. I mean, we did see. I think 3D platformers still have a market. Look at Astro Bot, which we'll
No,
get
I'm not
into
saying that there's
later.
not a market. I'm just saying him specifically. Now that we've seen him in both, I don't know if people would gravitate towards him more in a 3D platformer than
That's
the
probably why they're doing a remake instead of a new game, because they want to test the waters to see, one, is the fan base there and will they show up, and it's probably less costly to make a remake of a game that they already have the blueprints for than spending 2-3 years on an entirely new game.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the reason remakes exist. They're a way to test bed. They're very much an easy way for publishers to realize it's like, okay, do people still care about this franchise? Are they going to show up? And as a Rayman fan, I'll tell you, I don't think they will. I don't. That series does not sell gangbusters the way that I feel like Ubisoft kind of needs out of that studio right now.
I feel like Rayman Legends sold quite a bit, but I could be wrong though.
Rayman Legends, I can check. I do remember Rayman Legends.
Rayman Legends was also critically acclaimed for the most part, so that helped it. Whereas you're going to be putting out a 3D platformer Rayman who's just a remake of a PS1 game. I don't think it's going to do as well, just because unless they drastically change the game.
The first game's 2D.
The quality of the remake.
Oh really? Okay, I must have been thinking of Rayman 2.
Yeah. Rayman Legends sold 4.48 million lifetime. But I want to point out, it came out the same month as GTA 5. So it was actually that's a pretty good number considering how stupid of a release date that was. But yeah, I don't know. I want to believe Rayman can sell well. The thing is, it's Mario and Rabbids didn't really sell all that well. And it's that feels like the last Mario and Rabbids.
The expansion pass too. It's he wasn't even in the base game.
Yeah, I feel like no one talked about that expansion either. Substantially fewer people than expected. Exactly. No, I mean it's an issue. I want to believe Rayman can come back and do well. I think it just comes down to, we were talking about this. It feels like Ubisoft wants to bring back these franchises like Rayman, Splinter Cell, Prince of Persia, but the problem is they've been away from them for so long that it gave time for people to forget about them. So now it's way harder for those games to sell.
They wasted time with Splinter Cell because we were talking about this last time I was on. Metal Gear left a gaping hole in the industry that nobody filled. Splinter Cell could have filled that easily. That's on them.
No, Splinter Cell, I don't know. That the fumble from Splinter Cell is insane to me. Well, we will see what goes on with Ubisoft moving forward. We're probably going to keep hearing news about them. It feels like every week at this point. Moving into our next story, we got the Circana top 20 report, and now I do this game every time. You guys haven't seen the numbers, correct? You just know. I assume one game you guys saw.
I don't know any.
I don't think so.
Okay, perfect. All right, what is the best-selling game of September in the US?
Came out in September.
Let's see, that was before Metaphor. Before
Jack's first time playing. You know the rules, Jack. Just guess away.
I need to know what
best-selling game of September.
I'm trying to remember what came out. Did September have any big releases?
Is this physical and digital? I assume it's just physical if it's Circana.
No, it's physical and digital. Certain games only physical.
Because I think Zelda's in the top 3, but I don't know if it's number 1.
It's number. Echoes of Wisdom was number 4, which honestly is lower than I expected.
Wukong was.
Though granted, that's just physical.
So college football. Is college football still in the top?
College football is number 5.
Damn.
Actually, yeah. Where's Wukong?
Wukong's not on this list.
Oh, okay.
I think
that game
Wukong
came out in August.
They don't have August. Wukong is digital only, and it doesn't have digital sales for it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it would have 100. It would have been number 1 if it did.
Astro Bot.
Yep, Astro Bot's number 2. Which I want to talk about that. Hell yeah.
I don't remember what else came out.
I think that was really the only big release.
Think about sports.
Oh, NBA. Not NBA, but FIFA.
FIFA.
Well, FIFA. Now it's EA Sports FC because remember they got rid of the licensing.
Yeah.
That's number 1. FC 25.
Dude, they
Space
resell the
Marine
same
high?
game, people. But
What happened, Jack?
A Space Marine in the top.
Space Marine 2 was physical only, and it got number 18. Which honestly is lower than I expected.
Physical
No,
only?
I saw like no physical copies of that game, so I'm actually not that
Yeah.
surprised.
You know what's also crazy about the EA Sports is the fact it released on the 27th of the month, and it still was the number 1 of the month.
Dude, no, man, FIFA is fucking well. See, now I'm doing it. Soccer is fucking huge, even in the US, which is surprising because
I don't
really
understand,
soccer's a
'cause
thing
I don't
here.
play these games. What did they add? What is the new additions that they add every year?
Bigger number.
Bigger number. It's a team.
It's
numbers are
rosters,
changed,
teams,
rosters.
Like, do they
and then-
purposely just leave stuff out so that they have something for the following year? I'm so confused.
That's actually been their strategy.
Apparently, this year's is a much bigger improvement than usual. Like the reviews for this year's have been so much higher than average.
Oh, okay, I didn't see that. This is the first year that's FC, right? Or am I?
I think
Oh, no, no.
Second.
I wanna say
Second, I
second.
think.
Was Legend of Mana anywhere on the list?
The Mana game, was that even what it was called? That is
Legend of
such a
Visions of Mana.
Visions of Mana.
Vision.
Oh,
I was
never
gonna say
mind.
Secrets
Yeah,
of Mana for
well, it's
some
not here.
Yeah, Legend of Mana. Oh yeah, I see here. Legend of Mana was a re-release. Never mind.
Is Outlaws on there?
It is number 6. Which
Okay.
honestly, that's higher than I expected, considering it only sold 1 million.
Oh, what about Star Wars Jedi Survivor? Because that got its PS4, Xbox One release.
Good catch. That is not on the list.
Okay.
Okay. So it wasn't worth them doing.
A year later.
Is
That is honestly surprising. I don't think digital sales are included for that one.
this is a random one. Is Epic Mickey remake on there?
Oh wait,
Epic Mickey rebrushed. No.
fucking God of War Ragnarok came out in September, right?
Yeah, the PC release. God of War Ragnarok is
that's
number
probably up there.
10.
Yep.
Surprisingly,
we're doing digital Steam sales too. Oh, okay, never mind.
well, I
Oh,
mean,
wait, we're doing
Flyer.
this is so. Is it just? It's not just games that dropped. Is fucking Hogwarts Legacy up there?
yeah, Hogwarts Legacy is number 8.
Yeah.
Then Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 has to be there too, right?
Yep, number 15.
What about Final Fantasy? Didn't that drop around the same time?
Yep, Final Fantasy 16 is number 12. That was the Steam release.
The only other like
See,
big
okay.
release is like Plucky Squire.
That's
didn't
not on
Ghost
here.
come out on this year on PC too?
Ghost of Tsushima is number 19. Which honestly, it's still actually selling pretty well. There is okay.
Capcom came out too.
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom. That's number 16. Fuck yeah. This is a really funny one. You guys weren't gonna get this. The EA Sports MVP bundle was number 20.
A bundle?
Is that
Yeah.
the early access? Because I remember
think
them
so,
saying
yeah.
like early players were massive for that.
Yeah, which is really funny because it's like, how did this get here? Though I think that's just like a deluxe edition in general. There is so there's one sports game that two sports games that you guys are missing. One of you already
Harry
said
Potter
NBA,
Quidditch
and that's 7.
There's NBA.
Harry Potter
NFL,
Quidditch
FIFA.
Champions. No, that's not on here. Imagine though.
What game? NBA 2K25.
Oh yeah, you said that earlier. It was 7.
NBA, NFL, FIFA.
NFL, that's number 3. There is one more sport that you guys completely forgot about.
How old
Big
is
in
the game?
Canada.
Like, how old are we talking? Is this game?
The sports game?
Yeah.
Oh, it literally came out in September.
What? Another game came out in September?
Yeah, it is a game, sports that is very popular in Canada.
Hockey.
I don't even see,
NHL 25.
where's NHL? I don't even see it on
See,
the
I
list.
feel-
Here.
NHL?
Yeah, I don't see it on the list here on September. Hold on, let me.
So-
NHL.
I will say it is funny that whenever I do this game, you guys just keep forgetting about sports games. It's like they're always on the
Pay
list.
attention to the sports.
Well, just say sports games names. They're always on the top 20, Dark. Been doing this for years and you still can't get this.
Yeah, it says NHL released October 4th.
Oh, you know what it is?
didn't get
Because
the
they
shadow
got
dropped?
early access, and the early
Wow.
access was strong enough to where
I
it
don't
got
even
into
know
September.
Rising sold that well, to be honest.
A Dead Rising, it's number 11. It actually
it
sold
is?
pretty well. It's so
Hey, I
funny
remember
because
Shadow dropped.
Dead Rising is counted as like, Dead Rising in general, so it includes the PS4 remaster. So it went from last month's rank of 502 to number 11. There is one. Oh no. Okay, I think you guys got all the. Oh, there is technically one more new release. You wouldn't have gotten it. Age of Mythology, which apparently that I forgot that came out like really
I did
early.
look at that and I'm like, nah, that didn't sell that well.
Apparently, so those age games sell really well. And then I'll just go ahead and say the rest. You already said Ghost of Tsushima. The other two mainstays that are always on this top 20, Elden Ring and Minecraft.
I was gonna say Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart wasn't on here, but again, Nintendo doesn't
Finally
do digital sales. Yeah, really. But yeah, the big thing I want to talk about, Astro Bot as number 2. I mean, that is very surprising to see it all the way right behind FIFA, selling more than Madden. I mean, is this game a lot bigger than we were expecting it to be?
I feel like it's just because Sony didn't have really any games come out this year.
See, Jack, this always happens. Whenever Sony does well, Dark's like, yeah, well, they looked into it.
It's a genuine.
They're dog shit. They're dog shit.
I mean, they are. Don't get me wrong, but you want to talk about Spider-Man 2?
What are you talking about Spider-Man 2? Bro swings around as Spider-Man. It's like, this is mid. Astro Bot, though, get back into topic, did very, very well. I mean, do you guys think this did better than Sony was expecting? Or maybe they're like, oh, this is around our expectations? Because I doubt they were expecting
Granted, Sony has high expectations, but I did think it just slightly made over what they expected. Like, I think it definitely more people turned up than most people expected.
I feel like it mostly came out of word of mouth with this game because of like the 94, 95. I saw way more people playing it than I would have even expected. I saw FaZe Jev playing it. I was like, what the fuck? That's a crossover.
That was amazing.
But yeah, Astro Bot's huge, and I'm very happy to see that. Jack, do you think Echoes of Wisdom at number 4, like how does that sit with you? You know, not counting digital sales, but do you think like maybe it's under little less than you were expecting, more?
It's hard to say because I remember reading that it is selling faster than Link's Awakening Remake, and that's kind of where I expect it to land. About the what was that? About 5 million ish. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's I don't know. Maybe if we saw digital, I'd feel better about it. But number 6 is still a bit low.
I don't know if digital's gonna be a huge boon to it because I know the Nintendo fans, especially like the Mario people, the Legend of Zelda people, they love their physical copies. They are diehard physical, so I don't think digital's gonna be much bigger of a boost than something like a Astro Bot or something like that.
So real quick, Jack, I will say this is hilarious. So I was curious. I went back to September 2019's NPD numbers. Link's Awakening was also number 4 there. So I guess
the exact same people showed up.
Exact same amount. If it sold faster, though, it probably sold faster digitally wise then at that point.
I'm trying to remember the 3 that might have been above it in September 2019. Borderlands 3, Gears 5, maybe something else.
Hang on. Well, no. I already closed the article. Damn it, Jack. You got it. Okay, hang on. You said Borderlands 3, Gears 5. So Borderlands 3, but NBA 2K20 and FIFA 20 were the ones above it. Oh. Gears 5 was number 7. God, you hate to see it. Anyways, move back into the news. Move a bit faster. There's a lot to get into with this one, aka nothing. First ever Fallout Day broadcast. I watched it.
Bomb.
Moon, come on, man. Too soon.
Too soon. The date hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it was an app. It was not a very good broadcast. I was not very happy. I watched it. Did you watch it? I forget.
I did. Because Benj got me on maybe they announced the Fallout 3 remaster here, and I'm like, maybe I can be convinced that maybe I'll give a Fallout 3 a try with a remaster, and it wasn't even here.
I just want to say, before we get Bench do it. First off, don't let Bench. He says that I'm a fucking idiot. He hypes the shit out of everything.
Yeah, I know that, but this was like the most likely scenario because I'm like, it's Fallout Day. It's just a remaster. Maybe they could squeeze it in here.
That's the only reason why I can. Fallout New Vegas are too big to be in a presentation like this for Xbox, and I know Xbox knows this too. If and when they show those games, it's gonna have to be at E3 or something. This randomly at some random ass day that they fucking pick. What was it, like Thursday or some shit? Wednesday?
It was a Tuesday, Dark.
They're not gonna fucking show it randomly like that.
I just thought with a bigger remaster they could have.
Well, yeah, I mean a remaster maybe. That was the thing. Like that was the highest possible thing. Maybe a Fallout Season 2 preview, but from what I heard, filming of it hasn't even started yet. It doesn't start until November. So it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, sure, we weren't really expecting much. But here's the problem that I have with this presentation. They called it the Fallout Day broadcast. Just call it a Fallout 76 broadcast because this is terrible. Like if for anyone who didn't watch the broadcast, guess what? All you missed was Fallout 76 updates. And also, wasn't even very good. They literally just talked about things they already talked about in the past and then said, "Oh, we'll share more about this stuff at a later date." What do you mean? This is the date. This is the Fallout Day presentation. You have your most hardcore fans watching this and then you're still not going to have anything. I don't know.
I think they just about one update that's coming out, I guess, relatively soon, but that was it.
Yeah, it was like a raid for Fallout 76, which is okay, cool for the hardcore players, but again, it's I don't know what we're doing here. We're gonna have an entire presentation.
Yeah, I was expecting,
in my eyes, a waste of resources because Fallout 76 is doing well. It's doing great, not well enough to have this whole thing happen.
I wanna bring up possible. I always thought about this too, because the way that they're handling 76 seems kind of weird to us, given that we don't play it. But I feel like this is becoming the next Elder Scrolls Online. If you're not in the know, want it to be. If you're not in the know, it seems like what the fuck. They release an expansion for Elder Scrolls Online every fucking year. That game's still going strong. I feel like 76 is kind of there, just a little bit less.
I mean, it kind of sure. It has about 12K concurrents on Steam usually, which that's really good. But I want to point something out that a lot of people don't know. So they straight up said, "Oh, we're gonna have a free weekend for Fallout 76." I'm just gonna tell you guys this: the game is $2. It is almost always $2 whenever you want to go buy it. $2 for. Now. Well, yeah, but I mostly mean whenever a sale happens, it's always going for $2, and that's every sale.
They gave it away for free with Prime earlier in the year when the show came out.
Yo, so does the same thing. When a sale happens, they get all of the expansions for $10. It's what the fuck?
Which tells me it's they really want to try to get the money through the Atom shop and whatnot. Which is just I don't know. Do what you can. There?
So bad.
Oh no, it's stupid. That's what I mean. It's I don't know why they're doing this live service stuff. I feel like it would have been better. Yeah, sure, there's an audience for Fallout 76. It is strong. It's a small community at the end of the day versus how much of a sales boom you would have gotten if you just made a new Fallout game with that team. And just have that team say, fuck it, we're going to actually work on a new Fallout game in this IP that is extremely popular, that is going to get a massive boom if we just do a single-player Fallout game. Now, granted, I'm saying this very biased because I just want a new Fallout game and I don't want to wait over a decade for it. But I also just think, hey, I feel like that's a better spent of your resources than trying to support a community that's at the end of the day pretty small for a live service game. That's not spending millions of dollars on your game.
That 12,000 is reoccurring income instead of the one-time payment of someone buying a new game.
Also, another thing too, if they make a new game, because this thing Bethesda changed a lot as of late. If the new game doesn't do that well, they kind of cooked. Meanwhile, they still have this ongoing, which is you might not like it, but it's still a constant stream of Fallout shit.
Yeah, but they're owned by Microsoft. That should be their thing that helps them stay overhead.
That's even more so because Microsoft's gonna be okay, get us that constant flow of revenue.
Well, no, because they were going for this constant stream of revenue before they got acquired. That's the reason they got acquired was because they had no revenue going in. I don't know. I don't want Fallout 76 to do well. I realize that now. I know I should say I want every game to do well. I don't want this game to do well. I want it to crash and burn so they stop working on it. I'm sorry. I know that's mean, but I just kind of do.
Given the state of the industry, I don't know if we should be hoping for the
I know.
Forever is canceled. But
I know. I just hate Fallout 76. I just hate this game so much. Dark, I don't think you understand. But also, they teased fishing. I want to point that out. That's your one more thing, fishing?
Okay, well,
no, their one more thing was a bunch of employees going, "Oh, here's my fondest memory of Fallout."
Yeah, and then they showed Todd Howard. It's oh, here it comes. Oh, never mind. He just said thank you. Why did he show up? Why was he there?
Thank you.
Was he bored?
He was in that day and be like, you know what? Hey, let's get you on camera.
Yeah, really. Anyways, that's it for the Fallout Day broadcast. I will say I do like the idea of having it on the bombs drop day, October 23rd. I think that's just a cool like little lore thing.
That's why it's called Fallout Day instead of Fallout 76 broadcast.
But just call it the Fallout 76 broadcast for this one time. Then call it Fallout Day when you actually have something else. I don't know. I wish there was an easier way for me to skip it. Because I was like, oh, well, maybe they'll reveal something. I don't know. Whatever.
You could have just not watched it.
No, I have to watch it if it's called Fallout Day. That's what I'm saying. Versus if it was the 76 broadcast, then I could skip it. We're getting into the weeds here, man. All right. Moving into our next story. Netflix has closed its AAA game studio. This is Steven Totillo. Less than 2 years after opening it and making big hires. Last spring, Halo veteran Joseph Staten made headlines for joining. Team's now gone. A shakeup as new gaming bosses at Netflix settle in. So it seems like, if you guys didn't know, Netflix was trying to get into the gaming space. And I don't think they're sticking with it. And I listen, here's the thing. I think they're sticking with it in a licensing standpoint. You know, you get Netflix, with your Netflix subscription, you get games like Hades. I think you get Slay the Spire. I might be wrong. But like, there's a good amount of games on Netflix that are very much like core video games. But the problem is, like, I don't think Netflix wants to go into the let's make a game anymore. How are you guys feeling about that?
That's what it seems to be now with this disbanding. That seems to be the decision they stopped on.
100%. Yeah. It just kind of shows it's like the state of the industry. It's like a lot of these other companies like Amazon, Netflix, I think Apple, with Apple Arcade. It seems like they're biting off more than they can chew when it comes to getting into the space. But not much to really say there. I will say, okay, so Joseph Staten, that's kind of the big thing. He left Halo team. He was a director for Halo Infinite and then moved into this team. And now that team is gone. Do you guys think Joseph Staten kind of makes his way back to Xbox and Halo, or do you think he's just like out of the industry, kind of retires?
Could just go to something completely else, too.
Maybe he just wants to try something different.
What's he going to do? I don't see him making games.
That we know of.
He can join Retro. There's loads of 343 people working there now.
At Retro Studios?
Yeah, imagine if Joseph Statham was working on like Metroid Prime.
Dude, that'd actually be kind of sick. Get the shooting of Halo into Metroid Prime. Fuck yeah.
I mean, if you watch the trailer for Metroid Prime 4, like, you can see that there is 343 talent in that.
Oh yeah, especially with like the lighting and the way that they show off the night sky and everything. No, for sure. I'm very curious to see where he goes. So he is a talented guy. Another talented guy is Masahiro Sakurai, and we just got a news story earlier this week about his final broadcast, and he confirms he began production on his next game in April 2022. He wrote the game proposal at lightning speed, this is Wario 64 by the way, in July 2021, and says the project should be announced sooner or later. Production is given okay to move forward, but would take time to assemble the right team. Sakurai used his free time to start working on the YouTube channel, revealing that all episodes were recorded 2.5 years ago. Which is the most like, why did you have any reason to do that? But okay.
And I can probably go into it more because I actually watched the broadcast by accident, technically, because I was up all night playing Metaphor, and then suddenly it was 4 a.m. and I couldn't sleep, and I saw the notification of Masahiro Sakurai is now live. And I'm like, oh yeah, his final presentation. And I thought maybe he'll tease what's his next project is at the end of it. So I watched it. And it was like a 45-minute whole breakdown of the channel. And he basically laid it all out, saying he finished work on the Smash Ultimate DLC with Sora and all that, and then he had like a 6-month gap between finishing the DLC, writing the project proposal, submitting that, getting it approved, but knowing that the team wasn't going to get assembled until February that next year. So it was like 5-6 months later, and so he filmed, wrote, and submitted everything for the channel in that like 6-month time period. But the craziest thing for me when I'm watching that was finding out, yeah, he recorded everything, even all the game footage from all the games in that 6-month time span. But also, he was the one uploading everything. Like, I thought his editing team that he hired would have been uploading. No, he was manually going to work for whatever this new game is during the day and then come home at night and then upload the videos and everything. And make the thumbnails, or not even make the thumbnails, but approve the thumbnails and everything, and check in on the rest of the episodes that he submitted it to the editors, because he hired like an editing company for this. It was a fascinating process of seeing just what the channel was like as a project from that point of view. But the fact that he did record all that in like in a 6-month time span was crazy.
I think the crazier thing is like, I mean that's crazy, but also like the money he spent. I think it was about 90 million yen, which I think is about $500,000 USD, around that range.
Around that,
And the whole channel was unmonetized, which is just like, he was just like, oh yeah, I just wanted to give back. It's like, wow, okay. And like, so I doubt Sakurai's salary is that crazy. Like, I don't know, like, at least like crazy enough to just throw around $500,000.
Oh, he had two places. He had two living spaces, guys. That was the thing he pointed out, was he filmed the videos at his secondary location, which he said, as of right now, I sold that location. So he had enough money to have two locations, but then he sold that one that he recorded all those Sakurai for all the Smash DLC and the YouTube channel. He sold that off, which I found just kind of funny.
No, I mean, it just that's some work ethic right there. I will ask you, Moon, what do you think this project is? Because I will say the thing that like really stuck out to me is he said he was approached with a proposal for a new game, and that kind of tells me it's like, okay, that kind of tells me it's Smash Brothers. If he was directly approached by someone, let's say the someone is Nintendo, most likely. If someone is going to him, they're gonna ask him to make a new Smash game.
Yeah, he didn't say like who approached him, or if it was like an old person or not an old person, but like an old company or a new company. He left it very vague. It was just, he was approached, and then he wrote the project for it, and then they were going to assemble the team 6 months later. That was literally all we got about it. And then he's been working on it since February of 2022. So the only thing that makes me think it's not Smash is they're assembling a new team, which I would think if they were doing Smash and it was through Bandai Namco again, it would probably be a lot of the same team. That's my only like hesitant on it being Smash.
I mean, but isn't it possible that like a lot of that team that worked on Smash Ultimate maybe like went off to do other things, and he's just saying new team figuratively, like, oh, I got a lot of new people for this next Smash game, basically. Possible,
but I don't know. That's just my one gripe. So it'll be interesting to see if my gripe is true whenever he does reveal, which I'm hoping is soon, that we at least get some kind of announcement of it, because it's been
he said sooner or later,
years
right?
Now.
Yeah,
maybe next year. They're probably, once again, everything's waiting on the Switch too.
Yeah, seriously, at this point. I didn't put it in the dog, but did you guys see the ukulele game, that new one, is announced for Nintendo?
Which was interesting that I also saw, I don't know if you saw this, but Redditors caught it. But the marketing manager for Nintendo UK replied to that tweet and then immediately deleted his response. So yeah, I think something is around the corner. As granted, we've been saying that for years.
We've been saying something is around the corner for the Switch 2 since late
we've
September.
Been over the corner for forever now.
Yeah, but now there's smoke, because like people like PlayTonic are now saying we're just going to be releasing on Nintendo. Like, this just confirms that. Does this confirm that Yuka Replay, whatever the fuck it's called, the ukulele game? The ukulele game is not going to be on the regular Switch, not on the Switch 1. It's only going to be on Switch 2.
Imagine it's just on the Switch.
Like, they just said Nintendo.
By the way, it's just the Switch. It's not even on the Switch 2. It's just on the Switch.
We don't even know what the Switch 2 is.
The Switch.
I mean, the thing is, like, the least surprising news in the world is that Switch 2 like dev kits are out there. So it's like these companies know that the Switch 2, like what it look like, how it runs games and whatnot. So they could I feel like a lot of companies at this point are waiting to reveal games in general because they want to be able to reveal it for Switch 2. But it's like Nintendo's, for some reason, just keeps delaying this announcement. Or maybe it was always supposed to be delayed. I don't know. I'm getting really fucking frustrated at this point. Just reveal the damn thing. Either way, Sakurai.
They're going to wait for the next GTA trailer drops. And then they're going to be like, guys, guess what we're announcing today?
Yeah, wait until GTA 6's next trailer. Which also didn't happen. There's a fucking rumor that was October 5th. That passed. So now I'm like, god damn. Both my goats being silent. Moving into our next story. This is a quick one. Sony carves off more. Bungie, the creative studios, is now officially a part of PlayStation Studios. This Sony's assimilation of Destiny 2 studio, Bungie took another small step forward with the announcement that its creative studio ARMS responsible for creating and developing the artistic vision, is now fully part of PlayStation Studios. Word of the change came from Bridget O'Neill, formerly the senior creative director at Creative Studios at Bungie, now the senior director of creative at PlayStation Studios. I mean, this kind of sounds like this is Andy Chalk over at PC Gamer wrote this one. It kind of sounds like at this point, Bungie's just fully assimilated into PlayStation at this point.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any
good stuff?
Yeah, really. I mean, do you think like this kind of leads to more projects coming out of Bungie specifically, like, or are we kind of basically just getting Destiny 2 and maybe one other game from them?
You're gonna get more Destiny, and they're gonna try Marathon, but I feel like there's already whatever. They're gonna try it.
God, I completely forgot about Marathon.
Yeah, they're gonna try it, but however that game does, I don't think Sony really cares. I think they're already considering it a loss. Just like get it out the way, so you can then they'll start something new.
Yeah, it just seems like Bungie's kind of in a weird place right now. They're trying to find a way to like work around them because I don't think they like the idea that Bungie was basically just a separate arm of PlayStation. It's like, no, actually, you're gonna go under us. Moving on to our next story, just a quickie. Monster Hunter Wilds got an open beta announced for PS Plus Early Access October 28th to 31st, and then an open beta from the 31st to November 4th. Any of y'all checking it out? I'm not a Monster Hunter guy, so I'm just going to skip it.
Yeah. I mean, I play most
Not really.
betas, even though I probably have no real interest.
Mm-hmm. Is it a multiplayer one?
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're all like big co-op, like work with your team to take down the monster game, so.
Oh, yeah, the next tweet beta will include crossplay between PS5, Xbox, and Steam. Jack, you were going to say something?
I was going to say I'm excited for Monster Hunter, but I'll probably skip the beta. I am curious to see how poor the performance is and whether they claim that they'll fix it before launch.
Yeah, I was saying the game didn't seem like it was running the best. PS5 Pro ad right there. Jack, yeah, I mean, what do you think? Like, are you kind of worried about the performance? Do you think it's going to be a very noticeable thing when the game comes out?
I think it will be better than Dragon's Dogma 2, but not by much.
Man, I completely forgot Dragon's Dogma 2 came out this year.
I want to be wrong because like Monster Hunter Rise really surprised me on Switch. Like it ran really well.
Great.
So
was that 30 FPS locked on Switch?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So if they can, I mean, that's the big thing. I think this one's not having a performance mode, which is kind of what. Or was it that it's not having a performance mode, or is it 30 FPS locked for performance? Which at that point, it's not even a performance. But I don't know. It just kind of shows. It's like I think Capcom's starting to have trouble with the open world games with RE Engine. That's just kind of not a thing you want to hear an engine have. Moving into. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, regardless, like I'm still stupidly excited for the game, even if it runs like crap.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this beta's I'll just be keeping an eye from a distance, I think.
Smart. Sounds like a plan, especially with the worry about performance. Final news story: Metal Slug Tactics Moon. Remember that?
I've lost interest.
It's been too long, but we finally got a release date for November 5th. They revealed this 2 weeks before its release date. Why?
Because they know it's just going to be a game that kind of just releases.
Do you think this is just a case of like kind of a loss? Like, what are you worried about? Kind of the quality of this game if they just basically announce this release date like it's nothing?
I mean, we played the game. The demo came out a long time ago. Quality's fine. I just don't think. Like it's been so long since they first announced it. I don't think people care about it anymore. This year's already kind of insane with releases too. So just like shit, we gotta get it out.
Mm-hmm. And you're gonna skip this one? I know you.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed with the demo, so I'm just I was just like, maybe I'll give it another shot if they. I don't know if the demo's still up. Maybe I just wasn't in the right headspace for it, or I'm too Fire Emblem pilled or something. But it just wasn't clicking with me, being a strategy game.
No, that's fair enough. Moving into our reviews of the week, we only got 1.5. I'll say that much. Sonic Shadow Generations came out today, I want to say. Eurogamer Oh, no, it was on the 22nd. My bad. Was that? It was an early access release date type deal, or was that the actual release date?
I think it came out as just review people got it earlier.
Yeah, fair enough. Eurogamer gave it a 3 out of 5. IGN gave it a 9. The IGN giving a Sonic game a 9 is not something that was on my bingo card. I'll say that much. GameSpot gave it a 6. Pretty much like, I'll say this: if you see an 8 in the front for a Sonic game, oh man, that Sonic game's good, guys. That's a top tier Sonic game. If you see an 8 in front of the score. Dark, I know you were excited about this. How these reviews making you feel?
Generation was already one of the better Sonic titles that everyone really likes. They just gave the Generations treatment to Shadow. Everybody loves fucking Shadow, and that's why they're really good. The campaign for Shadow 2 is like 5 hours long, by the way, so it's pretty girthy.
Yeah, no, it's like the same amount of time as
Like
Generations.
Yeah, it's like a second campaign entirely.
It's weird because it's like I
5
feel like
hours
they weren't
being
marketing
better.
it that way.
They were making it seem like it's smaller, but no, it's pretty damn big.
It's basically just a new Sonic game on top of it.
He has
Hey.
both 3D and 2D levels. They didn't even show that in the marketing that he has 2D levels. He does.
Oh, he has 2D levels?
Yeah, he does.
They should have made a classic Shadow design for that.
They have his
Just like
beta
classic
design.
Sonic. Yeah, but that's a beta. I want the alpha Shadow.
I don't know if we're gonna get that.
Moving into our last review of the week, kinda Call of Duty Black Ops 6, which didn't technically get reviews. I was surprised by this. So it didn't get review codes, correct?
I don't think it did.
Which is
I
weird.
think this is because of last year with Modern Warfare 3 getting such low reviews.
That is great, bro. That's petty. At that point, it's like, come on, guys. You know you made a better one this time.
Also, this game is like mandatory online. Like you cannot play anything offline. So I wonder if like they just didn't switch the servers on until today.
Not the Diablo treatment.
Oh my god, wait, is it the single player is also online?
Yep, you can't play anything offline.
Okay, I'm
I
out. I'm
blame
not
their
playing this.
stupid, that stupid launcher that they have.
It's
That
texture streaming apparently.
Well, that immediately, Jack, I was literally about to say, it's like, oh man, I'm actually really excited to check out this campaign. Now I'm completely out because I just refuse to play always online single player games.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Jack. It saved me a $68 or Game Pass sub. But that's actually something I wanted to talk about in relation. This is kind of the big bet in regards to the Game Pass subscription. A lot of hubbub about how this is the game that's going to really, I guess, like showcase Game Pass as like a big platform. What do you guys think this is going to do for the Game Pass as a platform? How big is it going to grow off of this game? And do you think like it will be enough?
I definitely think it will be probably one of the biggest things that has launched on Game Pass because it's Call of Duty. So, and people who are already in the Xbox PC ecosystem of Game Pass are already getting it. And there's also the people who are going to be like me, who are only going to play COD for like a week or two until we get bored of it, and the only thing remaining left are the tryhards, and so the game is not fun anymore. So it's great for people like me who just want to play for those 2 weeks, and I think that's what's going to happen. You're going to see this gigantic boom of the people who already were going to play Call of Duty, the people who just want to casually play some Call of Duty for a week, and yeah, so it's going to be bad. We're going to see numbers here in the next week or so of like Call of Duty's biggest launch ever, or whatever they want to say.
Well, yeah, because that was actually something I wanted to bring up. Do you think that sales-wise, we're going to see a decrease or an increase from last year?
I don't expect much of a difference.
Yeah, I think it's going to be about the same.
It's either going to be the same or a little bit better given the positive reviews on this one.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about it.
Yeah, the positive reviews definitely helps.
Because after Modern Warfare 3 is a glorified expansion. And everybody knows that. Even in the files, it's classified as one. So this is an actual game this time around.
Well, technically, Black Ops 6 is also just listed as DLC for Modern Warfare 3.
Oh yeah, but like Modern Warfare 3 was quite literally just an expansion of Modern Warfare 2. Like,
oh no, I know exactly what you mean. It was just funny because it's like they did that again for this game, and it means it doesn't have a platinum
launcher that they have.
I don't know why Call of Duty sucks now. like sucks in the sense of like not the quality of the games, though kind of with like stuff like Modern Warfare 3 and Vanguard, but just like all this extra shit around this launcher, the the battle passes and the over reliance on Warzone. It's like, what is happening with this franchise, man? Just let me play the game and shoot guys. I feel like it's simple. I'm a lapsed Call of Duty player, so it's not for me. Definitely not for me now after learning about what Jack told me. Oh, Jack, are you actually? I mean, I know you're not a fan of Always Online. Were you interested beforehand about this game?
Nah, not really. Some family members are playing it, and they're getting Game Pass just to play it. So
hey,
I might
on the ground
play it
reporting.
with them. Yeah, so maybe I'll play it if like they really want to, but otherwise, I'm not really interested.
Yeah, I got my fill last night of, yeah, this is what Call of Duty is for me. Granted, I did a little better than I thought I would, but then there were a couple of matches where I'm just like, yeah, I'm not cut out for this anymore. So I'm just gonna play the 9-hour campaign because I'm gonna be Metaphor here like either today or tomorrow, and I got like a couple days before either Life is Strange or Dragon Age, so a 9-hour COD campaign sounds just about right.
Yeah, it just
Thanks,
kind of
Game
this. Yeah, really. Thanks, Game Pass. I mean, yeah, it's a perfect thing for Game Pass because honestly, this works out well for me because I'm probably gonna get the Game Pass. I don't know, in the next month for Indiana Jones, but it's just kind of a funny thing of like, the way I play Call of Duty is kind of similar, where I play the campaign and then I play multiplayer for about a month, and then after that month, it's like I never want to touch this game again because I got into too many matches with tryhards. Anyways, Call of Duty, we are hoping that does well. Now on to what we've been playing. I don't have much. Played a bit more Silent Hill 2. Still good. Not much else to add there. The new Astro Bot level. Me and Moon were talking about it earlier. We're getting into it, Moon. I think honestly, I'm trying to go for that sub 35, but like it is a tough.
Isn't the world record like 35 right now?
Yeah, but like I'm trying to at least get in the high 35s. That's the problem. I'm really close because I'm at 36. So it's like if I could just shave off like 1 second.
Yeah, but granted, a whole second in this is a big difference.
No, 100%. I want to see if I can do it though, especially because like it's still early. Like the level's only been out a day, so I feel like if I grind it a couple more hours tonight, it's like okay, maybe I could go for it. But no, it's a tough level. It's interesting. I think someone was not into the level immediately. I think it was Beef, or did he say that about the first level?
He hasn't even tried it yet. Like, he's not even on the scoreboard.
Oh,
I think he's still perfecting the first one.
Dude, I don't know what it was about the first level. That was the one that really kicked my ass. I think it was because of like how specific jumps had to be made. But this one, I'm having a way easier time, but also like just trying to get used to like the seal jump specifically, which is just a funny word to say.
What I'm finding harder about this one is there's 2 sections or 2 jumps that you have to do that are so precise, and the way Astro interacts with ice really screws you over. Whereas in the first one, you didn't have that. So if you were making this jump, or you always had your momentum when you're running. No, the ice makes you halt a lot. Picking up the liquid makes your momentum stop. And so that's just hard.
100%, yeah. But yeah, that's everything I've been playing. I've been pretty... I haven't played much games lately. Metaphor, Moon, you've been playing it. Any more updated thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm picking it up more. I'm liking it more. It might be my number 1 of the year. I'm still debating how I feel between this and Infinite Wealth because they're almost like entirely 2 different things. It really is like the apples to oranges comparison. The only thing they share is them being a JRPG, a turn-based JRPG. But both also have like these big problems that I'm like, okay, which one's the worst problem between these 2? For Metaphor, it's the pacing. And with Yakuza, it was... Yeah, that's true. All Atlas seems to have is a pacing problem. But Yakuza had a forced side content stuff. There was a bit of grinding that was needed, even on easier difficulties. So it's me juggling like, which one do I really hate more? And then so right now they're kind of at each other. I'm going to see how the ending of Metaphor plays out. Like maybe the ending of the story puts it over for me because I guess you can say Infinite Wealth's story wasn't the greatest. I mean, it was interesting in parts, but overall it was just kind of there. I think the story of Like a Dragon 1 was better. So that might put Metaphor over it. That's kind of where my mind is right now. Is Metaphor is a new game. It's a new IP. I should most likely be putting new games above sequels, in my opinion. So that is what edge it out. But that's how I feel.
Don't look at my fucking game of the years the last few years, then. If that's the case.
Now, no, I don't mind putting a sequel on top if it's like a superb sequel and there's really no new IP that can match it. Now, obviously, I'll have no problem putting a sequel up top there, but when it's like neck and neck like this, I kind of want to give the edge to the newer game.
Jack, you've also been playing Metaphor. How are you feeling on it?
I'm nowhere near as far in as everyone else, so I think I'm only about 25 hours in, roughly. I'm enjoying it.
What are we doing with these RPGs? 25 hours. It's like, oh, I'm just a little bit of the
tutorial.
Oh,
yeah, pretty much.
Genre. Sorry, continue, Jack. It just annoys me. It's like 80 hours main story. Like, what? Continue, please.
I'm liking it. I'm only getting whenever I have like a long session, I'll play it. Otherwise, I'm just playing something else like Balatro. But it's good. I don't think I'm as high as everyone else was at this point. I feel like everyone who I was talking to was like really enjoying it. But maybe it'll click as I get further in.
Yeah, is it what's the thing that's like not like gripping you immediately? Story, gameplay, like what's the thing that you're like, oh, I hope this improves when moving forward?
I'm not entirely sure. Like part of it might be gameplay because it's like I'm enjoying spending time with the characters and doing all the side stuff, but actual going into a dungeon and wading through monsters, I'm not enjoying as much. But I don't know. Maybe I just haven't found my rhythm in it.
It did take me a little bit to find the rhythm.
Is this your first Atlas game?
No. It's only my second. Like I played Persona 5, but
okay, gotcha. But yeah, I mean, you could feel that Atlas DNA going through it, though, right?
Yeah.
At least with what you played at Persona 5.
Yeah, I mean, I can't help but compare this to that, and like by this point in Persona 5, I was much more into it.
Same.
But I don't know. Maybe like I said, maybe as I go on, I'll like it more. Like I really like the world. I'll give it that. I kind of wish I could like just download the entire like lore pages to my phone so I can just read it whenever I'm not playing the game. But
dude, that's what screenshots are for, man. You gotta take a screenshot with your PlayStation controller. That's what you're playing.
Yeah, but when I'm playing the game, I want to be playing it. When I'm not playing the game, I'm still thinking about it, which has to speak for something. Like I am obviously enjoying it that way.
I will say though, you will get a big lore dump in the back half of the game.
Oh hell yeah!
I gotta say, but Metaphor, I really want to check that game out eventually. It just comes down to it's like, man, the length is really what scares
it's
me
not
off.
80. You said 80 again. It's not. It's a 60-hour game.
Oh, I said. Hey, hang on, 60 hours for Dark.
No, 60 hours for me. Like I'm on the last dungeon, probably 2 fights away from the end, and I'm about to hit 60 hours. I'll probably end at 60 to 61 hours.
Okay, but is that like main story? Have you done side content?
Oh yeah, I did. I've done all the side content.
What the fuck was saying 80 then? Are they just bad at the game?
Yeah, I don't know where they were getting the 80 number from.
Yeah, like if
At
you
first I was just really fast.
Oh yeah, if you mainlined it and did almost no side content and played like on easy storyteller mode, so you don't have to grind. Yeah, you could probably beat this in like 50 hours.
Bench was telling me somebody was at like the finale at 18.
I don't know about that.
That guy was just pressing the options button and skipping through all the dialogue. Sounds like how I would play the game. Did Bench even beat the game?
He dropped it.
He dropped it.
That's crazy.
I'm the biggest Metaphor fan here. It seems like all of a sudden, and he was going nuts for it.
Wait, why did he drop it? Was he not enjoying it?
Because he's feeling burnout.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think I could be wrong. I think he just overhyped himself.
The fact that I had to hear this motherfucker talk about game of the generation, this is going to be the best Atlas game ever for months just for him to drop it. I suffered for what?
But now you have encouragement to play it, so you can like it more than him.
Dude, that'd be crazy. I come out of it liking it more.
Nothing else.
God bless. I mean, I think I'm going to really like it. It's just These games don't need to be so long. Moving into, I think that's all the games we actually have been playing, unless I missed something.
No.
All right, cool.
Yep.
I think that's it for the pod. We had it ready to head out. How you guys feeling about the weekend? Any plans, like gaming wise?
Finish metaphor.
I'm gonna sleep.
Bro said, "Nah, I'm done gaming." Put in too many shifts playing Metaphor Dark. You're just like, I'm done.
Like 2 weeks ago. I'm fucking looking at
But yeah, I think that's everything. If you guys like us, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere podcasts are found. Like it. Any type of support helps, and follow us on Twitter at Gaming. With that, say goodbye, everybody.
Peace out.
See ya.